Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into the unnerving reality of the perfect scam. You're here because you want to stay ahead of this stuff, but lately, just being aware, it just doesn't feel like enough. We're in this new era where the bad guys have generative AI, and they're using it to make their scams look, well, flawless. We're talking zero typos, perfect grammar, and voices that sound completely real.
That's the fundamental shift we really have to acknowledge. The challenge has just escalated so quickly. Scammers aren't sending those sloppy messages we could all spot a mile away anymore. Now they use AI to write these polished, targeted emails, clone voices with just seconds of audio, and even generate deepfake videos. The old rule, look for the typo, is completely obsolete. It just doesn't work.
Okay, so our mission today is pretty clear then. We have to stop relying on grammar checks and find the new red flags. What's the modern defense against this kind of AI perfection?
It requires a total shift in mindset. We have to move from what I call reading mode, where you just passively take in a message to verification mode. That's where you treat every single unexpected or urgent request as suspicious until you can prove it's legit.
Perfect. So here's our roadmap for this deep dive. We are going to cover the new behavioral red flags that AI can't fake. We'll give you a simple 1-minute check for those emails that look a little too perfect. Then we'll explain the family safe word protocol for those crisis calls. And finally, share some quick win tools that basically run on autopilot for you. So let's start with segment 1, the new threat landscape. What exactly is AI doing to make these scams feel so personal?
It's all about hyper-personalization and doing it at a massive scale. For email, AI makes spear phishing incredibly effective. These tools scrape public data, like your employer from LinkedIn or a recent event you posted about, and they just weave it right into the message.
So it's like, hey, I saw your post about the marathon. Congrats. By the way, I need you to approve this invoice right now.
Okay.
It feels real because it knows something about me.
Exactly. And that familiarity just instantly lowers your guard. But beyond email, the phone threat is, well, it's arguably even scarier. That's voice cloning. With just a few seconds of audio from, say, a social media video or even your voicemail, AI can mimic a loved one's voice. The tone, the pacing, everything.
So hearing a familiar voice isn't proof anymore.
Not at all. And for the really big scores, you've got deepfakes.
Okay.
They're still a bit less common, but growing, especially in corporate scams. Imagine a short video of your CFO's face telling you to authorize a huge wire transfer. The visual evidence is now completely unreliable.
This is unnerving. So if the writing's perfect and the voice sounds real, what are we even looking for?
You have to shift your focus from the presentation to the request. AI can write a perfect sentence, but it can't hide the scammer's behavior.
So what are those behaviors? What are the tells?
Look for sudden extreme urgency, a manufactured crisis that needs immediate action. Then there's secrecy. Don't tell anyone, or this has to stay between us. Also, any request to break your normal process, like paying a vendor using a brand new bank account. And, crucially, any push toward irreversible payments.
Yeah.
We're talking crypto, gift cards, instant wire transfers. That's always the goal.
And the scale of this problem is huge. The FTC and AARP's Fraud Watch Network, they're reporting these massive growing losses from these scams. A lot of victims pay up after just one single, really polished contact.
That's the core takeaway here. The message might look perfect, but the request is what gives it away. Your defense is to just pause and then verify that request through a different channel.
Okay, we've established the email looks perfect, so we need a system. Let's move to segment 2. Spotting the perfect email. How do we switch into that verification mode you mentioned?
Right. So an unexpected email lands, an invoice, a password reset you didn't ask for. You immediately stop being a reader and you become like a security auditor.
Okay, but let's be real. If I'm in a hurry, what's the one thing I have to do if I only have 5 seconds?
The 10-second hover check. Do not click. Just move your mouse over the link and look at the preview that pops up. Does the domain match the real company? Or is it a lookalike, with a letter swapped or a weird country code at the end? If you see Amazon-billing-support.net instead of Amazon.com, you've won. Just stop right there.
I nearly fell for one last month. The branding was perfect, but what saved me was that exact check. The sender's domain was just slightly off, so what's the next step? Checking who it's from.
Yeah, that's the from line test. They might put a friendly name like Apple Support in the header. You have to actually expand the sender details to see the real email address. The domain, the part after the @ sign, has to match the real company's domain.
And attachments.
That's the attachment sanity check. If you weren't expecting it, especially the ZIP file or something that asks you to enable macros, Just don't open it, ever.
And the final golden rule for any request involving money or passwords.
Out-of-band confirmation. This one's non-negotiable. Use a phone number you already have saved or their official app to confirm the request. Never, ever call the number that's listed in the suspicious email.
That feels solid. But are there any tech upgrades that can help automate this?
Absolutely. Two things everyone should do today. First, turn on two-factor authentication or 2FA for your email and banking. Second, get a password manager. It's like this silent security guard. It won't autofill your password on a fake site, which is a huge, quiet warning that you're in the wrong place.
So the takeaway is perfect writing means nothing. The routine, hover, check, confirm, that's your real defense.
Okay, we've covered the calm email scenario, but what about the ultimate pressure test, the crisis call? Let's get into segment 3. This is where they clone a loved one's voice. A grandson, a daughter claiming there's a car crash, they're in jail, and they need money right now.
And that panic is exactly what they're targeting. Emotion overrides logic. So you can't trust the voice, you can't trust the caller ID, you can only trust a process.
What are the patterns we should be listening for in these calls? It's always a dramatic, urgent story. Loved one is in trouble. Then they always insist on secrecy, don't tell mom and dad, that kind of thing. They'll use the new number script because their phone died. And then they demand those irreversible payments. Gift cards, crypto, things a bank can't recall.
But wait, if my kid was really in trouble, they might actually tell me not to tell anyone else. How do you tell the difference?
That is the key question. The difference is the demand for irreversible action before you can verify anything. A real loved one will be okay with you hanging up to call them back on their real number. A scammer will get frantic. They'll tell you there's no time.
That makes perfect sense. So my heart is pounding. What's the calm, repeatable response?
First, just pause and breathe. Seriously, take 10 seconds. Let your logical brain catch up. Second, hang up and call them back on a saved number. The one that's already in your phone's contacts, not the number that just called you.
And the ultimate defense against the clone voice.
The family safe word protocol. It's a simple word or phrase only your immediate family knows. You never post it online. If the person you call back can't give you that safe word, you hang up. End of story.
How do families set that up? What's the best way?
Choose something totally random and non-obvious, like blue lamp or pepper tree. Write it on a piece of paper, not in a digital note, and just review it every 6 months or so. The important thing is to tell your family that using the safe word is a sign of trust, not suspicion. If it's a real emergency, you'll reach them in minutes anyway.
Voices can be faked, but a callback and a safe word can't. That's a brilliant low-tech defense. Okay, let's shift to segment 4. Let's talk about tools and habits for autopilot protection. How do we set things up so the tools do the heavy lifting?
Right, maximum impact for minimum effort. As we mentioned, the password manager is tool number 1. It's a silent guard.
And 2FA, you said we need it, but are all methods the same?
No, they're not. An authenticator app, like Microsoft Authenticator or Authy, is better than getting codes by text message. Text messages can be vulnerable to something called a SIM swapping attack, so the apps are just, a bit more secure.
What about catching problems early?
Turn on real-time transaction and login alerts from your banking app. An alert for any transaction over $1 can stop fraud in its tracks.
So beyond the tools, what are the simple routines that really work?
Simple habits beat sophistication every time. First, keep everything updated. Set automatic updates on your browser and computer and just restart once a week. Second, for phone calls, let unknown numbers go to voicemail first. Real people leave messages. Scammers usually don't.
And I love this idea of a weekly 5-minute safety ritual.
It's so effective. Every Monday morning, just scan your bank transactions. Check your email security settings for active sessions. Glance at your password manager's report for weak passwords. Fix one thing. That's it.
And since AI is the problem, can it also be part of the solution?
Yes, as an assistant. It's great at filtering spam and spotting weird login attempts. But the human rule still applies. People verify people. And please follow the data minimization rule. Don't paste sensitive info account numbers, IDs into public chatbots.
Set up the tools, then follow the short weekly check. That's the formula. But, mistakes happen, even to smart, busy people. So, what if you click the link or sent money? Let's talk damage control in segment 5.
This is so important because what you do in the first 10 minutes can make all the difference. Speed is everything. Your goal is containment.
What is the very first thing you do?
Change your passwords immediately. Start with a compromised account, then your main email, then your bank. And if you don't have 2FA on, turn it on right then and there.
And the money. If I sent a wire transfer?
You have to call your bank's fraud line immediately. Use the number on the back of your card, tell them to lock the account and request a fraud recall. With wire transfers, time is absolutely critical. You might be able to freeze the funds if you're fast enough.
What about a credit card charge?
That's usually easier. Consumer protection laws are stronger. But you still have to call immediately, report the fraud, and get a new card issued.
And we need to document this, right?
Meticulously. Write down the timeline, dates, times, phone numbers, URLs, amounts. You'll need it when you report it.
And where do you report it?
File a report with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, that's IC3, or your country's National Cybercrime Agency. That data helps them track these groups down.
And let's touch on the emotional side. It is normal to feel embarrassed or ashamed, but these scams are designed to work when we're stressed or distracted.
That's absolutely right. It's not a personal failure. Tell a trusted friend what happened. You need support, and you need a second set of eyes on your accounts for a while.
This has been so valuable. The message is just so clear. Sophisticated scams are beaten by a simple, calm routine.
That's it. Just carry this little three-part mantra with you. First, pause for 10 seconds. Second, verify on a number you already trust. And third, proceed only after it all checks out.
So let's end with an action plan for today. The single most protective thing you can do right now is either set a family safe word or turn on real-time bank alerts. Which of those two small actions are you going to choose to protect your calm?
Taking that first step is what matters. Setting that safe word, turning on those alerts. You can find resources on how to do this in the show notes. Small steps, big protection.
Learn more at radosimpleai.com.